Comes back in the Guardian zone. That's pushed off the wall to Morbichek. Morbichek rips it around the boards. Bar then pushes that puck into the neutral zone. Battling there on the wall. Campbell in to help out. Brian pushes it back up. Winter Club then pushes it back into the Guardian zone. They go D to D. Simonson now passes it up the ice. Battle now in the neutral zone. Winter Club comes out with it. They start to enter the Guardian zone. They fire it on net. That's blocked up over. Goes behind the net. Brian now battling here on the half wall. Trying to get that puck out of the zone. Still battling here, right in front. Campbell now hustling to get to that puck. He gets it in the neutral zone. He's got it. He starts to enter the zone. Guardians make a change. Campbell pushes it to the outside and then comes back to change himself. Winter Club regrouping. That's kept in. Attempted to be kept in by Higgy. Higgy now back. Winter Club dumps it down deep in the zone. That deflects the wall. Wall pushes it out to Conlon. Conlon circles up the ice. He now gains the neutral zone. He enters into the Winter Club zone. He fires on net, and that's pushed away by the goaltender back to Conlon. Conlon then backhands it out front, but that's deflected out into the near corner there. Puck's now coming up the boards here. Comes all the way back, picked up by Auburn. Auburn circles around behind the net. He passes it up to Olsen. Olsen now throws it up the ice. That's going to be an icing, it looks like, on the Guardians. That'll bring the face-off back into the Guardian zone. 13:05 left in the first period. Face-off pushes out, picked up by the Guardians. Amos taking it to the far side. He's trying to beat the defender. He gets that puck down deep into the corner. Puck's now behind the Winter Club net. Pushed out front. That's picked away by Winter Club. Winter Club now pushing up the boards. Guardians trying to hold the zone. They're able to squirt out in the neutral zone. Campbell comes back. He ties that person up. Winter Club then dumps it down deep into the zone. Simonson picks it up behind the net. He tries to get up O'Brien. That's broken up by Winter Club, and they rim it all the way around back to the other side. Their defense steps in. That rims all the way around once again. Picked up by Simonson. Simonson then splits it up into the neutral zone. Winter Club then dumps it back in. Morbichek then rims it up to Amos. Amos now on the outside. Campbell picks the puck up. He passes it over to Simonson. Simonson then tries to get it up. That's broken up to the neutral zone. Puck now comes back into the Guardians zone. Winter Club picks it up behind the net. They skate it around. They try to pass it out front. That's broken up by Simonson. Simonson then pushes it up to Sandy O'Brien. O'Brien then tries to get up the bar. Can't quite connect. Bar now racing into the corner. Winter Club then moves it up the ice. They get it back into the neutral zone and then go to the cross side here. That's broken up by Higgy. Winter Club then comes in, dumps it down deep. Higgy picks it up behind the net. He stops, comes back the other way, passes it off to Conlon. Conlon up to the net. Net tries to get it over. That's broken up. Conlon now picks it up. Now skating through the neutral zone. He gains the red line now into the Winter Club zone. He fires across ice. That puck's hopping. Bar's not able to hold on to it. He then tries to get it back to Conlon, back to Bar. Bar now with it. He circles back. That puck's then cleared all the way down the zone. Not going to be an icing. Higgy has to hustle back to get it behind his own net. He's taken on, picked up by Lynette. Net unable to get that puck out of the zone. Higgy picks it up back in the corner. Auburn now with the puck. He passes it over to Bar. Bar now with it. He takes it to the outside. He cuts back, returns, gets it back into the middle. Campbell's trying to step up, get a shot, unable to get it to him. Puck's now in the far corner. That's centered on front. Puck's loose. Winter Club's able to clear it out. They're now leaving the zone. That pushes back to Moravicek. Moravicek now with it. He passes it up to Olsen. Olsen now with the puck. He's battling with a Winter Club player. He wins it. He centers it out front. And that's deflected out behind the net. Both teams battling now behind the net. Guardians come out with it. They try to center out front. Winter Club then comes out with it to the top of the zone. He skates into the middle of the zone. Simonson steps up on the blue line, then tries to get it back up to Campbell. Winter Club now pushes it back into the zone. Battle right here on the blue line. O'Brien wins that, gets it out of the zone. Ryan trying to get it up to Campbell. Campbell out taking it up the far side. Winter Club picks it up to the corner. They start to leave the zone. They then pass it into the middle, then to the far side. That's broken up by Higgy.
Tag up offside to any place to go.
The Winter Club now. That's broken up. Mike Conlon battling out in the corner. Lynette picks it up. He's able to slap that puck in the neutral zone. That's not going to be enough for an icing. That's waved off. Winter Club pass it around. They then start to leave the zone. They skate it back through the neutral zone. Higgy then pushes it outside. They dump it in deep. Brown is back. Hustler trying to get control of that puck. Auburn picks it up. Starts to feed it out of the zone. Auburn pushes it into space. Winter Club then picks it up. Pass it up. Guardians make a line change. They get it to the outside. Cut back towards the middle. They fire it on that. That goes wide. Simonson and O'Brien battling down here in the corner. Winter Club comes out with it. They go out to the D at the top. They then throw it to the far corner. Moravicek goes back to Retrieve. He passes it up to Amos. Amos tries to deflect it out, but unable to get a good stick on it. That comes back. Auburn then backhands it up the wall, unable to get it out. Winter Club now battling right there on the half wall out front. Still battling there. Puck kicks out. Guardians come out there. They'll chip it up into the neutral zone and get a change. O'Brien's trying to put some pressure on. That puck deflects up into the Guardians box for a whistle. By Winter Club. They then dump it down deep into the zone. Conlon goes back to Retrieve behind the net. He stops, he comes back the other way. Passes it up to Higgy. Higgy down to Barr. Barr chips it up to O'Brien. Puck comes loose. Now down in the neutral zone. Barr passes it over to Higgy. Higgy up to O'Brien. O'Brien now centers into the zone. That's a shot by Campbell. Barr then rims it all the way around the net. Campbell's trying to pick it up on the other side. Puck's now deep into the corner. Winter Club comes out with it. They try to flip it through the middle. Puck's now loose in front of the net. Guardians not able to get a shot. Winter Club now leaving the zone. That goes back to Higgy. Higgy goes cross ice to Conlon. Conlon goes up to Barr. Barr goes back to Higgy. Higgy now has some room to move. He's forced to dump that puck all the way in. Guardians make a change. With that now putting pressure on Winter Club behind their own net. Olsen moves in, put pressure on. He's able to hold his own. Olsen now with the puck. He tries to get it over to Auburn. Auburn circles back. That deflects out to Higgy. Higgy fires on a shot. Puck's loose. That's blocked away by the goaltender. Winter Club then now passes it up into the middle of the ice. They then get it to the far side. Puck's now in the neutral zone. Auburn's able to dump that puck down in deep. Olsen's picking it up on the far side. He's battling with one of the Winter Club players. Olsen comes in to help out. Auburn with it. He tries to get it back to Olsen. Unable to do so. Winter Club then moves out. That comes back to Simonson. Simonson moves to Lynette. Lynette to Auburn. Guardians almost offsides. They're able to hold on to it. Winter Club comes out. So Lynette hustling after that puck. Both of the players go down, and he's going to get called for a penalty. 5:57 left in the first period. Guardians will now go on the penalty kill. Face-off's won by Winter Club. Their defense dumps it down deep into the corner. Browns there trying to break that play up. Puck swings around behind the net. Higgy's putting pressure on in the corner. They move it out top. They move it back down low. That's intercepted by Higgy. Higgy now battling front. Winter Club comes out with it. They then passes out to their D. They're able to hold it and throw it down deep into the zone. They come back. Providence trying to put pressure on them. Campbell now battling here in the corner, trying to get it. That's broken up by Cronlin. Cronlin now coming back the other way. They ice that puck down the zone. Playing official hockey rules in this tournament, so you can ice on a power play. Darnall with it to the outside. He chips it around a guy. He's now gained the zone. He tries to get it over to Campbell. Campbell now picks it up behind the net. Comes on the bar, shoots. That's blocked. That comes all the way out of the zone. Campbell's hustling back. He breaks up that play. Oh, Winter Club now with a break to the net. They backhand. That goes wide. Simonson gets it in the corner. That comes back. Morbacek forced to cover the front of the net there. They pass it out top. They shoot it towards the net. That's kicked off the skate of Morbacek. They shoot it once more. Hit off the freeze of Simonson. It deflects into the net. Power play goal. Winter Club now coming back the other way. He's got a straight line to the net. He shoots. That just goes over the top of the net. Auburn now with the puck. He moves it up to O'Brien. O'Brien's now got a step on the guy. He's trying to get it to the net, unable to quite get it there. He's still battling down the corner. Trips it out to Olsen behind the net. That comes back over. O'Brien now battling down in the corner. They're running around. Higgy tries to put on a shot on net. That deflects off the skate into the far corner. Winter Club player loses an edge there. Guardians are able to hold the zone. They then throw it into the neutral zone. Higgy's able to step up, step around a guy. He's now got some room to skate. He moves it to the outside. He's now skating it into the middle of the ice. He takes it to the outside. Then fires it, tries to get into the middle, but that's broken up. Puck's now loose in front of that, backhanded. Shot. Puck's still loose in front of it. Algrim with it. He shoots, he hooks it wide. Guardians now trying to dump it back down deep. That just gets back to the fence, down into the neutral zone. Winter Club now picks it. They got a 2-on-1, come back the other way. They fire the puck, that goes way wide, not even close. Battling now on the half wall. Olsen now flips it up, backhanded out of the zone. Won't be an icing. Guardians able to make a change. Winter Club now coming back the other way. Lynette's first out of the box, trying to put pressure on. He moves it to the outside. Morbacek's trying to break it up. Battling now behind the net. Simonson with it. He goes down. Campbell's there to help out. That kicks out to Amos. Backhands up to Amos. Amos trying to chip it out, but their defense is able to hold it. That comes back to Campbell. Campbell now trying to get a stick on it. Able to get it up to Amos. Amos now moving through the neutral zone. He's quickly met by a Winter Club player. Trying to move that puck up. That kicks back to Simonson to the Guardians zone. He goes cross ice over Morbacek. Morbacek comes back to Lynette. Lynette able to get a stick on it. He then throws it up the boards. Puck now kicks out in the middle of the neutral zone. Amos now with it, trying to get control of that puck. He's able to get there. He's battling down in the corner. Puck comes loose. Higgy's able to get a stick on and hold the zone. Here comes back to Higgy. Higgy takes it back to Guardians. Campbell's taken down. He's hitting the back. Ball. Winter Club passes it out. Higgy's able to step up and hold that zone. The puck then comes out in the neutral zone. Guardians then put it back in. That comes back to Cronlin. Cronlin now skating it through the neutral zone. He chips it up. O'Brien then chips it into the boards. Ogden there trying to get control. He has a stick lifted. Puck down to the back bars, able to hold the zone. Winter Club. Guardians had to regroup there. It was offsides. Club then dumps it down deep as they make a change. Piggy Long tries to get it up to O'Brien, but that's broken up. O'Brien now battling here on the half wall. That kicks back to Algrim. Algrim taking it behind the Guardians net. Cuts back in through the middle. Passes it up to Barr. Barr's able to poke that puck into the neutral zone. Puck still loose right on the blue line. Rollins steps up. He's now skating it through the neutral zone. He moves it over to O'Brien. O'Brien shoots. That goes way wide. Barr's trying to pick it up behind the net. Current Club now starting to skate it out of the zone. They then go cross ice. They fire it on net. That's a goal. 46 seconds left in the first period. We're going to come up by 2. Olsen tries to push that puck into the Winter Club zone. Puck comes back into the neutral zone. That comes into middle ice. Winter Club defense steps up. They then push it. That goes all the way into the Guardian zone. Morvacek goes back to pick it up. He throws it up the boards, trying to get it to Olsen. Olsen out battling along with Campbell. On the half wall, that comes out to their defense. They step up. They push it over to the far wall here, the near wall. They're then able to dump that puck down deep. Then move it into the middle of the ice. Olsen breaks that up. Puck's now loose in front. That kicks out. Olsen then chips it up out of the zone into the neutral zone. Winter Club picks it up as they start to regroup. They go cross ice. And that's going to do it for the first period. Second period, Guardians going to regroup, hopefully come back with a strong second. Face-off's won by the Guardians. That comes back to Hagee. Hagee pushes it up the wall into the neutral zone. That's picked up by Barr. Barr now skates into the zone. He then moves it to the outside. They fire it on net. That hits off the butt end of the stick. Flex up over the net. Conlon's able to hold his zone. That's picked up by O'Brien. O'Brien now skating it towards the net. He shoots. That hits the goaltender. That comes loose. He tries to shove it in the short side. They're unable to get a stick on it. That comes back into the neutral zone. Conlon steps around a guy and then fires it down deep into the zone. Algrim trying to put pressure on behind the net. Puck comes out. That comes out to Barr. Barr now with it at the top of the zone. He then dumps it off to O'Brien. Ballroom now picks it up behind the net. Check picks it up. That puck's then skated all over, shot all the way down the net, all the side of the boards there. That's going to be an icing. Face off down in the Winter Club zone. They win the draw back into their own corner. Guardians putting pressure on. Olsen trying to get a stick on it. Winter Club comes out with it. They start to skate it out of their zone into the neutral ice. They pass it up. They get around Morganchuk. They then throw it out front. That's blocked away by Simonson. Simonson out with it. They get it up the board. That puck comes out of the zone. They try to get it into the middle. That's intercepted by Winter Club. Campbell now picks the puck up at neutral ice. He starts to skate it into the zone. He cuts back into the middle. He fires it on net. That bounces, blocked, kicks way out front. Winter Club picks it up, starts to leave the zone. They move it up the near side here along the boards. And then fire that on net. That's stick saved away by Wall. Simonson then pushes it up. That puck comes back into the neutral zone. Winter Club picks it up. They go D to D on a regroup. They then throw it up the boards into the neutral zone. Up, Simonson steps up, he starts to skate it, he then dumps it down deep into the zone. Guardians make a line change. O'Brien hustles out of the box, trying to put pressure on. He's able to break that puck up, great forecheck by O'Brien. O'Brien out with it, he sticks it in front of the net, puck's loose, shoots it, shot, goal! O'Brien pushes that puck in, comes loose. Amos is there to pick up that rebound and score the first one for the Guardians. That is Amos from O'Brien. Walker picks up the puck. He starts to skate it into the zone. He dumps it down wide. Winter Club comes back the other way. O'Brien then rims it around back behind the net. Amos is there, trying to put pressure on. Winter Club now starts to skate it through the middle of their zone. They gain the neutral ice. They then dump it deep into the far corner. Peggy picks it up. He's starting to gain some speed. He's starting to move the puck out of the zone. He gains the neutral zone. He's now over the red line. He enters the zone. He takes it to the outside. He's got a lane in the net. He backhand shot. It hits off the crossbar and goes off into the far corner. Simonson able to dump that puck, or Auburn dump that puck down deep. Winter Club then pushes that puck out. I believe the Guardians went offside, so they got away with one. And that now picks it up behind the net. Campbell picks it up. He tries to toe drag around back into the middle of the ice. That comes up. Higgy steps up. That bounces. Barr now with it. That's broken up. Higgy now with it. He shoots. That can't get to the net. Puck's loose down in front. That puck comes into the middle to Campbell. Campbell takes a shot, but he can't get it off. They then throw the puck all the way down the ice. That's going to be an icing. Faceoff will come back into the Guardian zone. Faceoff's won by Winter Club into their corner. They circle around behind the net. Barnow putting pressure on behind the net. They then move it up. That's pushed up by Morganchuk. Barnow throws it deep to Campbell. Campbell picks it up behind the net. Barr's there to help out. He pushes the guy off the puck. He gains it. Barr takes it in the top of the zone. He then dumps it down deep, and that's broken up by Winter Club. Winter Club now skating it through the other way. They take it to the outside. That's broken up. Puck comes back into the neutral zone. Guardians now with it. Barr poke checks. Puck's now loose in front of the neutral zone. Battle here right in front of the Guardians box. it, and they dump it down deep in the zone. Simonson picks it up behind the net. He's battling. He tries to get it up to Lynette. Lynette now with the puck. He backhands it into the neutral zone. Winter Club now regrouping. They go cross ice back into the zone. That's broken up by the Guardians defense. Dumped all the way back down into Winter Club zone. They skated around behind the net. Lynette's trying to put pressure onto the far side. They pass it up. They then move it back in the neutral zone. That's intercepted by Algrim, but Algrim can't hold on. Winter Club now going back the other way. Simonson does a nice job pushing to the outside, and that's broken up. Puck's now loose in front of the net. Got a hold up there. Got a pile up in front of the net. Wall's able to push that puck and pull that puck out of the net. 9:29 left in the second period. Scores 2-1 in favor of Burnby. Face off some by the Guardians. They rim it all the way around. Winter Club's not able to hold it. That's picked up by Algrim. Algrim's got some room to skate. He gets it to the outside. He's got Olsen with him. He fires it. That's pushed away by the goaltender. Winter Club now steps around the defense as he steps up. 3-on-1 coming back the other way for Winter Club. They then pass in the middle of the ice. They shoot. That's a goal. Dig deep after that one, get that back, bring this game back to 1. Winter Club fires it down deep into the Guardian zone. Simonson battling in the corner, along with O'Brien. Campbell now with the puck. Amos with trying to chip it out of the zone. Winter Club's able to hold. That puck comes down in the middle. Wilson able to chip it around into the Winter Club zone. Campbell trying to put pressure on. They stop, they come back the other way up the boards which they came, and Lynette's able to hold that puck, dump it back down deep, almost comes out the other side. He breaks up that breakout pass. Amos still battling down in the corner. Winter Club now with it behind the net, met by Algrim. They then pass it up, and then dump it out in the neutral zone. Morvacek back to pick it up. He backhands it, loose right there on the blue line. Simonson comes out with it. He's now skating it up the far side. He's looking for a lane. He fires. That's blocked. Puck comes up into the air. That goes around behind the net. Puck's now loose in front. Winter Club shot. And a goal! That shot comes out. And that was Amos there. Picks it up, but that puck bounced right to his stick. He was able to put it in short side. 7:48 left. Barr comes out with the puck. He's battling through the neutral zone. He's able to get it into the zone. He then passes it across ice. Takes a shot. Oh, that goes wide. Barr now hustling. He picks it up on the half wall. He's trying to hold that puck in. That comes out in the middle. Winter Club now picks it up high in their zone. They pass it to the outside. O'Brien's there trying to put pressure. That forces Winter Club to pass it. That's broken up by Higgy. Higgy now with it. He's skating it through neutral ice. He's taking it to the outside. He back skates it in. He has that puck poked away, picked up by O'Brien. Winter Club then able to chip that puck out into the neutral zone. Higgy hustles back to try to get it. He picks it up. You know, backhands it to Barr. Barr now with it. He skates it into the middle of the ice. He gets it down deep. He's now skating around behind the net. He dumps it off to Cromlin. Cromlin now skates into the zone. He passes in the middle. Puck's loose. Barr shoots. That's blocked away by the goaltender. Barr passes it out on top. Shot. Puck deflects out into the corner. Cromlin steps up. Algrim picks it up. He dumps it back deep to O'Brien. O'Brien tries the center. That's poked away. Guardians step up. Higgy holds that puck deep. Puck battling there on the wall. Bar and Algram there. Higgy tries to break that breakout up. They're now bringing it through the neutral zone. Bar picks it up. That's broken up. And we're going to have a whistle. Club comes out with that draw. They start to skate it through the neutral zone. They give it to the outside. Morganchuk trying to push them out. They backhand it towards the net. That's kicked off by Wall. Simonson now with the puck. They move it up to Campbell. Campbell now skating it through the middle. He gets it to the outside. He stops. He comes back the other way. He's taking off the puck. Picked up by Lynette. Lynette now with it. He moves it into the middle of the ice. That's broken up. Morganchuk now with it. He pushes it to Olsen. Olsen throws it out in front. That kicks out. Winter Club's able to pick it up in the high slot and skate it out of the zone. They're now gaining the Guardian zone. Morgan pushes them to the outside, battling down the corner. Simonson now with it. He's pushed off. He's able to get it out of the neutral zone. Grace Olsen trying to get in there. Dump that puck down deep. That comes back towards the Guardian zone. Auburn fires it on net. That's blocked and covered up by Wall. 4:59 left in the second period. Score is 3-2. Guardians down by 1. By the Guardians, that's pushed back in the zone. Cronlin backhands it around to O'Brien. O'Brien picks it up on the far side. He passes it up to Algram. Algram trying to win that puck race. That's broken up by Winter Club, and they're not able to get it out of the zone. Algram picks it back up. A shot on that and gloved by the Winter Club goaltender, forcing a face-off down in their zone. Face-off's won by Winter Club down in their own zone. They've put pressure on by two Guardian players. Winter Club comes out with it. They start to skate around behind the net. Amos is there trying to break that breakout out. Battle here on the half wall now. That comes out to Cronlin. Cronlin fires it to Amos. Amos circles back. He shoots. That hits the post and goes wide. Puck's back loose out in front. That comes out. Cronlin's going to step up. He pushes it over to O'Brien. O'Brien now rims it up to Algram. Algram back to O'Brien. O'Brien starts to skate it towards the net. Algram picks it up. He's battling in the corner. He passes it to O'Brien. Shot. That's broken up by the defense of Winter Club. Winter Club now starts to skate it out of the zone. That's broken up. Cronlin now with the puck. Guardian's trying to get out of the zone there. He's being held up by a Winter Club player. He couldn't get out. That's going to be an offsides. Picked up by Barr off the face-off. He skates it into the middle of the ice. He toe drags around one. Gets it on backhand. Shoots it a goal! What a play! He toe drags it around. Gets it to the outside. Backhands it. Beats it. Your goalie short side over the shoulder. That ties it up. That's the equalizer. That's 3-3 with 3:42 left in the second. We got ourselves a hockey game now. Hopefully that'll build some momentum here for the boys if they're able to claw back to tie this one up. Picked up. Campbell picks that puck up off the face-off. Takes it to the outside. He then circles back. Puck's right there. He told on one. He gets it to the outside. He's looking for a lane to the middle, but everything's blocked up. Winter Club picks it up behind the net. They throw it up the wall. They throw it out. Simonson's able to throw that puck deep. The net they're battling. Campbell shots, and that's gloved by the goaltender. Guardians put a lot of pressure on this Winter Club team. during the second period. Forcing another face-off down deep in their zone. 3:12 left in the second period. Face-off battling. That's pushed out. Guardians trying to hold the zone. That kicks out just outside the blue line. That's going to be offsides. Club wins the draw. They go back to the gate and throw it up the boards in the neutral zone. Higgy picks it up in a regroup. He passes it up to Algram. Olsen tips it. That goes around. Puck's loose in front of the net. Goaltender guides it around behind the net. Algram's there trying to break up that breakout pass. Brian moves in. Winter Club then starts to skate it out of the zone. They move it up the far side. Guardians pick it up. They rim it all the way around. O'Brien's going to pick it up on the wall. He tries to chip it around to the fence, but they're able to hold. Then they're able to poke it out. Algram now with it. He might have a step on him. He does. He's got a lane to the net. He skates it towards the net. He fires it. A goal! That's a goal! Puck squirts out on the far blue line. Algram's able to get a step onto the fence. Gets it to the net. Finds a hole and buries it. That puts the Guardians up by 1. 2:25 left in the second period. Face-off's loose right at the dot. That kicks out to Simonson. Simonson looking to move it up the ice. He moves it to Lynette. Lynette now steps around one, then dumps it down deep. Ryan's hustling in the forecheck. Amos is there trying to seal up the wall. Does a great job. He's taken down. Campbell now trying to hold that puck in the zone.
Come on, Amos!
Amos is hurt on that. Puck kicks out. Lynette's able to break that up. Winter Club now back in the Guardian zone. Battling on the far wall, on the near wall back there. Puck's now coming around behind the net. Simonson chips it up the bar. Bar battling on the half wall. Unable to get that puck out of the zone. Winter Club now loose. Bar now has a race to the puck. He's battling with a guy. Guardian's able to hold the zone. Oh, they're going to call that offsides.
Good job.
1:15 left in the second period. Face-off just outside of the club zone. Puck's pushed off. Winter Club picks it up. They dump it down. Higgy picks it up on a regroup. He circles around. He now moves it up the wall. Brian was just getting up off the ice. Can't get a stick on it. Winter Club back with it. Putting pressure on by Olsen. They throw it up. Guardians defense. Higgy's able to hold that zone. That puck goes down deep. Olsen now hustles into the corner. Battling. That's picked up by Winter Club. Winter Club now starting to skate it out of their zone. They being neutralized. Olsen hustling back, pushing him to the outside. They fire it towards the net. That's pushed away by the Guardians defense. They're able to kick it out back into the neutral zone. Guardians are able to get it back into the neutral zone. Higgy now pushes it up through the zone. That kicks back. O'Brien able to push it down deep into the zone. He starts to skate it around behind the net. He wraps it. That comes loose. That's loose in front. Winter Club able to clear it. That comes out to Higgy. Higgy shoots. He can't get a good stick on it. Now we got a 2-on-1 coming back the other way. Garland pushing him to the outside. Higgy's trying to get back to break up that pass. They're able to do so. And that's going to do it for the second period. Guardians with a great effort that second period. Able to put a bunch of goals up on the board. And they got a 4-3 lead going into the third. We'll be back. on to this lead. Playing 15-minute periods, it's going to be a little bit longer than what the boys are used to, so they're going to have to dig deep and keep grinding to the very end of this one, because Winter Club doesn't seem like they're going to quit this game, so we're going to have to keep going. Out front and broken up. That comes down into the corner. Winter Club picks it up, skates it around behind the net. That's broken up. They cut back. They bring it back behind their net. They start to regroup. They then pass it up the wall. Then back to the middle of the ice. And then throw it up the boards. That's held by Guardians, but then they're able to chip it out. He's trying to push the outside. He gets a lane. Can't get a shot. He backhands. Puck's loose. Picked up by Campbell. Campbell now taking it to the far side. He gets around the defense. He shoots. And that's a goal! That's a goal! That puck kicks out. Campbell's able to get a step on that defense. Clears up a good shooting lane for him. And he sees an opening right on the top right corner over the shoulder of that goaltender. He's able to bury that one, giving the Guardians the 2-goal lead. Face-offs pushed forward by the Guardians into the Winter Club zone. Battling there on the far half wall. Still battling. Puck's still stuck in there. That kicks out. Algrim's back trying to hold that in. Puck's still loose right on the blue line. Algrim pushes that puck out into the middle. Winter Club then picks it up. Algrim's able to get there and hold that puck into the zone. Battling down in the far corner. Puck kicks out in the middle. Their defense moves it up the ice to the far side. They're skating it through the neutral zone. They try to shoot it off Overcheck. Overcheck then throws it up into the boards. That comes back. Their defense steps along the blue line. Starts up skating towards the zone. He fires. Kick save, shot, and a goal. Ball's able to make the initial save there. The rebound comes out to one of their players, and they're able to get the rebound. Like I said, Guardians are going to have to keep playing the entirety of this game because Winter Club is going to keep coming. Left in the third period. When that comes out with the draw, he skates it into the Winter Club zone. He's taking it to the outside. That cuts into the middle. Winter Club now skating it back into the neutral zone. Olsen hustling to get back. Drummond pushing him to the outside when that's there to help out. Campbell picks it up behind the net. He starts to circle. He gets around one guy and starts to move around the neutral zone. He gets around, he fires it on net, that's pushed away. Goalie tries to cover, he's unable to reach it. Winter Club now comes back the other way. That's broken up. Guardians are onside. Oh, O'Brien's back in the far side there, unable to get out of the zone in time. That should be offsides. Face off just outside the Winter Club zone. Let's push back. Simonson able to break that play up. Winter Club now entering the zone. They push it towards the net. That goes behind. Now battling behind the Guardians net. Algrim comes out with it. He kicks it up towards. Trying to get it out. That comes back out the defense. They shove it deep. Overcheck then shoves it back up the boards. That puck comes through the net. They backhand it. That goes off the side of the netting there behind the net.
Back to the house, boys! Back to the house!
Guardians battling. Puck comes all the way over to the far side. Barr's able to get a stick, trying to get that puck out of the zone. Guardians now finally able to clear. Morgacek throws it up the ice, and that's probably going to be an icing. a face-off back into the Guardian zone. Face-off's won by the Guardians. They rip it around. Lynette picks it up on the far side and then able to chip it up into the neutral zone. That comes back, and that's going to be offsides on Winter Club. Left in the third. Guardians up 5-4. Winter Club wins the draw. Back to their defense. They circle back to regroup. They then start to move it over. They gain to the outside. He steps around Higgy. They got a lane towards the net. They push it out front. Crowland's able to get a stick and push it back over to the wall here. Winter Club then dumps it down deep. And that picks it up behind the net. He then passes it up. Campbell, at their defense, able to step up and hold. Crowland now picks it up behind the net. He circles around. He tries to get it up. That's chipped up into the neutral zone. Up then. Campbell goes down. That's picked up by. Campbell picks that up again. Winter Club then strips that puck away as they start to come back out of the zone. Defense steps up there. Campbell picks it up and he tries to push it down deep into the zone. Winter Club picks it up. They then fire it cross ice. Winter Club then takes it down deep into the zone, then back up the boards. Now that's going to be offsides. Pushed into the zone by the Guardians, but it goes all the way behind the net. Winter Club picks it out. They circle around. Algram trying to break that up. Puck's loose. Comes to Algram. Algram steps around one guy. Can't keep a stick on it. That goes all the way into the side wall there. Battling down in the corner. Puck's now back to the corner. Winter Club comes out of it. They start skating out the zone. Comes back. Voracek's going to be forced to go back and get it. He brings it out behind the net. Throws it up the wall to Algram. Algram trying to get it out of the zone. Winter Club's able to hold. Voracek now battling. Winter Club now puts a pass out front. Broken up by O'Brien. O'Brien now tries to get up to Algram. That's through the legs. Goes to the far side. Puck's now right on the blue line. Winter Club's able to chip it out. They're now coming back. We got a 2-on-2 coming back the other way, and they're going to be offsides. Faceoff's won by Winter Club back to their D. They then try to back in. Bar's able to hold the skate to keep it out of their zone. Winter Club then drags it around. He picks it up. He starts to skate it into the neutral zone. He gets it up to Lynette. Lynette now with it. Winter Club comes out with it. They start to skate it around the far side. They then rip it up the boards. Picked up by Algram in the picked up by Crowland in the neutral zone. They fire it back into the zone. Winter Club with possession. They then throw it cross ice into the neutral zone. They then come back to the middle. Now skating into the Guardian zone. That's broken up by Lynette. They try to center and they whiff. Putting one now in the corner. Campbell comes out with it. He's skating it up the far side. He tries to cross ice. That's broken up. Bar now with it. He tries to kick it back up to himself. Pucks now into the corner. Comes back to Higgy. Higgy's able to dump it down deep. It's like a battle there in the half wall. Bar with it. He tries to center. That's blocked. Comes out to Higgy. Higgy fires it on net. That's deflected into the corner. Bar hustling in. He backs and takes it around behind the net. He's got control. He's taking it to the wall. He steps around. Kicks it back to Cronlund. Cronlund fires it back deep. Bar trying to get a stick on it. The puck's poked around into the corner. Battling in the near corner. That rims all the way around. Bar's trying to get to it. He gets it on his backhand. Now O'Brien fires it in deep. Winter Club now starts to leave the zone. Piggy's able to step up and hold it. The puck's then brought out of the zone. Piggy now with it. He skates it around. He's dancing the blue line. Waiting for his teammates to come on side. Then he dumps it down deep and makes a change. Winter Club then brings it back the other way. Guardian's trying to hold his own. Simonson comes out with it. He steps around one guy. He's trying to bring it to the net, but that's kicked off into the corner. He picks it up behind the net. Simonson with it now. He's got it on his backhand. He pushes it out. Winter Club picks up the puck behind the net. They try to fire up the ice. That hits off the back of the player and back into the zone.
6 minutes, boys. Let's go.
Still battling down in the corner. Winter Club shoves it out to Simonson. Simonson then throws it back down deep. That comes back out of the zone. That's going to be an icing. 5:52 left in the third period. Guardians up 5-4. Face off back in the Winter Club zone. Campbell comes out with the draw. He starts to skate it around the back behind the net. He's met by a Winter Club player. He's able to hold on to the puck. He circles back, keeping that puck deep. Winter Club then rims it all the way around the boards. Guardians able to put pressure on, trying to hold that puck in. Offensive call. Simonson holds his own, dumps it back deep. That rims all the way around behind the net. Comes up the far side. Winter Club picks it up. Olsen's there to put pressure on. He's able to hold that, but Winter Club gets it out in the neutral zone. That kicks back. Simonson pushes him to the outside as they gain the zone. They then pass it back through the middle, but Olsen's there to break that up. Olsen then fires up the boards. They're easily able to hold that in and then fire it towards the net. That's tipped by our own player. Goes wide. Simonson then chips it up to the net. Net then tries to rip it back all the way around, but can't get a stick on it. Campbell picks it up. He gets it to the outside. He then backhands it up. That's intercepted by Winter Club. Winter Club now coming back the other way. Diggy's there to try to break that up. He shoots. That goes over the net. Puck's loose. O'Brien's battling right here in front. Winter Club's able to push that puck back down deep. Guardians are battling, trying to get possession. O'Brien comes out with it. They start to skate it out of the zone and then move it over to the middle. Olsen can't get a stick on it. Morbacek steps up. He goes down. He went down hard. O'Brien now battling, trying to get that puck out of the zone. Puck's right there on the blue line. Puck comes out. Algrim's trying to get a stick on it. He's able to get it out of the zone. Winter Club now coming back into the zone. That's kicked out by Higgy. Battling now in the corner. Puck's tied up into the feet. Trying to get that puck out of there. That kicks out. Cronin steps up out in front of the net and pushes that puck back into the corner. That comes out the line of half wall. He tries to chip it up out of the zone, but can't get it out. That comes back out. They dump it back down deep. That gets around behind the net. Cronin picks up on the other side and chips it up to Amos. Amos trying to chip it out of the zone. Now battling as their defense holds. Amos pushing, trying to push that puck out of the zone. Puck's still stuck in the feet. We're going to have a whistle. Face-off's loose right on the dot. They circle, that hits off the side of the cage there, goes behind the net. Brian picks it up on the half wall. Brian trying to chip it out. Winter Club now steps around, backhands. That's blocked by Wall. That comes all the way through into the far corner. That was close there. Guardians now able to get it out of the zone. Algren picks it up. He's skating it through the neutral zone. He gets it to the outside. He fires it towards the net, but that's hit with a stick of the Winter Club player. Puck's now loose in the far corner there. Looks like another tie-up. Got 2 minutes, 48 seconds left in the third period as Guardians try to hold on to this one-goal lead. Winter Club now comes out with the corner. They go cross ice. They gain the zone. Oh, that's going to be a penalty on Cromlin as he gets a stick caught in the torso as he's trying to push him to the outside. That's a harsh penalty to take at this time of the game. You're going to have to dig deep, protect the middle of the ice here, not let anything in, clear that puck any chance we get. Unfortunately, we can ice the puck, so hopefully the boys recognize that, grab that puck, fire it out of the zone. We'll likely try to maybe see a goaltender here pulled by Burnby as of right now their tendy is in. Face-off's pushed to the point by Winter Club. They shoot it on net. That's blocked. Puck's loose in front. That skates through. Ryan then able to get it. That comes back to the defense. They fire it towards the net. Puck's loose in front. Puck's still loose there in front. Battle. That's poked out. Puck now ends up behind the net. Campbell now with it. He tries to get it over to Barr. That puck's able to get out. Barr trying to put some pressure on to kind of eat up some time here. Burnby swings around, they pass it up the wall. Got all up the ice, that's broken up by Campbell, but Winter Club's able to fish it out of there. They now got a guy on the far side, but that's broken up. Higgy's now with it. He can't get it out of the zone. Barr tried to get a stick on it. Higgy's then able to break it out. Barr now with the puck, he's taking it up the far side. He gets it, he fires it towards the net. That's kicked right out in front. Olsen's not able to get a stick on it. Winter Club now coming back the other way. They pass up, that's broken up by Campbell. Winter Club picks it up in the neutral zone now. They got a guy on the far side, they shoot. That's deflected out by Wall, nice save. Algren tries to throw it out of the zone, but the defense is able to hold. We got a minute left in the game. Higgy fires it all the way down the ice. They still have their tendy in. That's to do at the end for the period. We're now full strength. 51 seconds left in the game. Winter Club now coming out of the zone. They pass it up. That's intercepted by Cromlin. Cromlin now pushing the Winter Club player to the outside. They're offside. They have to get back on, which they do. That's going to be offsides. Seconds left. I would anticipate a timeout here unless we're going to have a timeout. Whew. Excellent penalty kill by the Guardians. A couple close calls, but they're able to hold off, and Wall makes a great save, able to continue that one-goal lead. Pretty quick break here as both teams try to create a game plan, moving in for this last 38 seconds. Face-off will be just outside the zone when we come back. we are back. Their tendy is pulled. Face-off won by Winter Club. That goes back to the defense as they regroup. That's gloved down. Crawley then able to get it back out of the zone. Forcing Winter Club to regroup. They have to hold. Puck goes down behind the net. Malcolm picks it up. He then passes it up into the middle and out of the zone. We got 15 seconds left. That goes all the way down. That's going to be just wide. That's no icing. Because he has passed the red line there. Winter Club, we got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. They're not going to be able to get it down to this end. That's going to do it for the Guardians. That's going to be the first win for the game. That's a big one for them as they worked hard for that win on a big comeback in the second period to tie it up and then to take over with a 2-goal lead. And they end up winning by 1. Valiant effort there by the Guardians in this first game here down in Florida. So that'll do it for game 1. We're going to have a long break here as we don't come back until somewhere around 7 o'clock, I think, tonight. We'll have to look at the schedule. But, yeah, hopefully these boys can get some rest and get their strength back and come back and have an excellent game, too. But I'll tell you what, that was a great start for this tournament for the Guardians. So we'll be signing off now, so thank you for tuning in. And we'll be back this afternoon.